Sun. Of course, you want to know what? Grab a copy to read. All right, let's see. This is Nigeria exit FATF grey list. Reserves cross $43 billion amid surging investors' confidence. Around the money market page, Nigeria banks cement dominance in top 300 global ranking. And we'll go to other stories there this morning. Insurance and You forging common front for insurance industry recapitalization. All right, we'll come to other stories on the leadership and management page. You have other stories, power between the socket and the plug. Capital market. All right, we have some fantastic stories there. Organizations and firms doing well. And we'll come to the brand and marketing, why we picked Anambra. Okay, that story is there also. NECA to partner FG on migrants reform. Shobanjo predicts 1 trillion naira advertising market for 2029. I lure 10 reps, 7 assembly members, others to APC. That's coming from Ubasani. Right, Benga Ashim vows to defend multi-party democracy. That's also there. Fayoshe Lambas Dangum says he won't return as PDP chair. All right, on page 23, PDP crisis, uncertainty over control of national secretariat, and show stakeholders, staffer, fear possible clash. All right, still on page 23, Anambra election, Ihiala remains hotspot. That's coming from INEC. The story is there. Why I'm joining APC? Coming from Diri, you want to know? Grab a copy. All right, NEL Fund received over 1 million applications, disburses 116 billion naira loan to students. 5 days after resumption, worry Itakpe passenger train derail again. Right, on page 25, you have other story, Kano government, other security beef up in border communities after bandit attack. Or your government hands over 90 hectares of FG to federal government for Monia Inland Dry Port Project. All right, and of course, still on that page, 2025 World Cleanup Day, or your UNICEF reaffirm commitment to environmental protection. All right, on page 27, NDLEA bans 3 with 1,779 kilograms of cannabis in Ogun State. FCTCP orders crackdown on criminal elements in Abuja. Oyo police dislodge armed hoodlums, arrest 6, recover AK-47 rifle, ammunition, other items. Police arrest Lagos serial rapist driver. That story is also there. All right, we'll go to some other stories there. Yes, we come to page 30. Yamal, 18 splits with girlfriend, 25-year-old, helping team matter more than goals, says Chelsea. Jauha Pedro will sack Pereira after winless start. Lucky final on Liverpool side slot. On page 31, Moses Simeon scores as Paris FG shocks Monaco at home. Ugunawo Makonjola Ainde released 1 award. Right, you have that there. And then we come to persistence, perseverance, and purposeful strategic planning in sport development. I will come to the back page story there. You have UCL Club Burge Don't Fear Baka. That's coming from Onyedika. Kwara Oyiswan win 2025 President Tinubu Cup. And you have Abia Warriors turn Tornadoes in Mina. Castina United hold 3SC in Ibadan. And that's as much as we have this morning from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. We'll go on a break, and when we come back, of course, we'll be taking you through the weather report, and our interview segment will follow. Stay with us. Don't go away.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys!
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria. directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Chrome out on malaria gone.
Want to know what's coming, guys? The free beach ball! I guess I'd better start again. Oh, here we go, everybody. Free beach ball! Yes, guys, there's a free beach ball in every carton of Capri Sun. Get a carton, get a ball. It's time to play some more. Play! Capri Sun. The taste of fun.
Milo 3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. So, no need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish your kids.
Guys, food is ready.
Suitable for jollof rice, stew, spaghetti, and yam portage. Cooked to impress.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
Supramalt Multivitamin Junior.
When you're low on energy and need a break, give yourself a treat. Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Smooth. Crafted from cocoa, milk, and sugar. Creamy. Chocolatey. Frothy goodness. Rich taste. So satisfying.
Cadbury 3-in-1 Hot Chocolate. The treat you deserve.
right, welcome back. He's still AM120 on the Broadcasting Corporation of your state. Of course, this morning we'll be looking at what we call alleged coup attempts, matters arising. And to do justice to the conversation this morning, we have Fatai Akinsomi, Esquire, retired intelligence officer with us this morning. And of course, is a political expert. You're welcome to the program this morning, sir.
Thank you, my sisters.
Before we go on, engaging the guests, fresh details have emerged indicating that the military has arrested an additional 15 officers of various ranks in connection with an alleged coup plot against the federal government, bringing the total number of detained personnel to over 40. Most of the detained officers reportedly belong to the Infantry, Signals and Ordnance Corps. Looking at everything that has played out in the last 2 weeks, at the alleged coup, federal government coming out to say it's a rumor, there's nothing like that. And here we are seeing over 40 people arrested in the space of 2 weeks. What could have prompted, people coming together to say, to plan the coup? Let's start from there.
Well, a lot of things might be responsible for some people to come on board and say they are planning coup. One, if they are the opinion that their interest is not captured by the present regime. Two, if they are of the opinion, yes, that they too want to rule Nigeria, probably from whichever side. And lastly, if they are opinion that their economy is being threatened by the presence of things, I will not say like that one cannot be lastly. So then the other alternative is that some foreign peoples who thought our economic policies and other things are not in their favor that now can also sponsor coup.
Okay, let's look at it. When we talk about coup, those are the likely reasons why people would want to take such step to planning a coup. You would also recall that even the president had to change the leadership of the Nigerian army, and of course it was like, okay, it was a cabinet change and all of that. Now, what do you think this current federal government is scared of?
Don't use the word scared, although so many people have used a lot of languages, different languages, in respect of the assessments of the so-called rumor coup. Some I call it panicking measure, some I said it's just by fabrication, some are saying it's just an attempt to get a political enemy, some are saying that it's not real, they are against certain, so many things. Everybody is free to hear his own view. But in my own view, and view of the development that is unfolding, it is only federal government, after the investigations has been fully completed, that can come out and say there is a plan coup. It will be highly premature, unprofessional, put it in that form, for when these certain symptoms of likely coup is unfolding, then you now expect government to say there is a plan coup. No. They are just playing to the gallery. No, but no responsible government will do that.
Officers that have been arrested,
yes.
Is that not indicating, or indications enough that coup was being planned?
No, it's that indication you are talking about. It's indication of likely. But I would not even say likely coup. There is likely threat to public peace and tranquility. That threat to public peace and tranquility can come in various forms. You get what I'm saying? It can be an attempt to change the present order. That is coup. You get what I'm saying? It can to create panicking, panicking measures and measures to reduce the interest of the government in the mind of citizenry. So it's all indicators that there is there's threat to the internal security.
Okay, let's take a look at what has happened so far. In Africa, there are some countries that have been taken over by the military, and they're still battling with that. So if we look at how far we have gone in this country, would one have imagined that with our level of exposure and development, that someone would still think of a coup, knowing how Nigerians do not want a coup to happen? Or let me say, majority of Nigerians do not want a coup.
You see, what happened is that, at times people don't go back to the histories of Nigeria. Presently, President Tinubu, who is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is from Southwest and a Yoruba man. In the 1960s, during the first coup, the initial Kaduna coup, it was mostly planned by officers of the Eastern origin. It was then Adegoke Akintola was killed. Sade Soji Adeyemi was just managed to escape. And in the north, Amadu Bello was killed. Tafawa Balewa was killed. Most of the Hausa something, in the northern something. The Opara who was in the east was spared, was not killed. And that was, they made their going to the president. And that was also that there was another counter coup, spearheaded by mostly people from the northern origin too. So what I'm saying is this, the diversity natures of Nigeria. And you must not forget that during these political strugglings of ruling Nigeria, people still believe today that Awolowo would have been president. He was denied. Well, that's individual opinion, one word. But it is this struggle that they kill Akintola for the political something. They kill MKO Abiola. Now we are now producing another president in the name of Tinubu. Then another sectors of northern origin, because almost, I'm just saying, supposing we define that it's a coup, most of them are from the north. They don't think ahead of time that how will an Afro Yoruba man view it. So if eventually it is found to be true, it must have been carried out by those who are enemies of Nigeria.
No, but are you saying, from all indications, it looks like a regional issue?
I have analyzed it now. The individual now will now say, okay, the way I analyze it, it may be, some people will feel it in that line.
Okay.
Because there is an obvious fact.
When you talked about enemies of Nigerians, are you saying we have some internal citizens who are also enemies of Nigeria?
There is no country you have a perfect something. Some people, a lot of people want to be president.
No, because
whether silently or otherwise.
No, because again, if we look at coup sometimes, like you have explained, some people feel that the current situation is unpalatable, so they want to change. I find a way out, come up with ideas, policies that can make things better.
If you want to change, the constitution as outlines means to change the government.
Do you think this our constitution can help us to change to a government that can actually move this country forward?
So are you saying we should now engage in illegality?
That is not the point.
There must be alternative. No, we are analyzing it. I'm thinking along with you. You hear what I'm saying? If you said, okay, you cannot come through a road to Uliakide, and they have blocked the Basharun road. You hear what I'm saying? Are you saying we should not find a way? Whether legally or otherwise, because we cannot be staying here in perpetuity. What we are saying in essence is that the constitution has outlines modes of changing leaders.
That's the same way it is in some other countries where you currently have the military in charge today.
And what is happening?
They have the constitution, yet they felt that they don't like the way things are going.
Yes, one, if it fails, they get killed, they will be eliminated. That is the options. Nobody say you cannot. If they say you cannot steal, you cannot steal. If you steal, if they don't catch you, you are not a thief. Because when they catch you, you will be dealt with accordingly. But if you use constitutional means and you fail, they will even be saying, sorry for losing the election. But if you are saying that is the alternative, it's not the alternative, it's an illegal alternative. And that is why, let me tell you one thing. One, see the issue that happened during FATSA era. FATSA was a versatile writer, a very sound writer. When Pepe Clark and Professor Wale Soyinka then went to meet Babangida to plead that they should spare his life. They searched so many, though Babangida himself, if you want to use his discretion, you can do his military something. But normally, it's well stated there. Once you plan coup and it fails, you get eliminated. And that is what's happening now. You know, these kidnappers you are talking about, armed robbers, they are using that alternative to amaze weight. Is that they don't need to go through the normal means.
One would have expected our military to look at how to combat the insecurity we're facing rather than thinking of taking over. Because if the country is stabilized, you know, in terms of security, you can be sure that things will or may likely get better for us.
You see, that is the way you are. That is the approach you are looking at it. You know, in my own opinion, meaningful security will be enhanced when there is political will from the leaders to enhance adequate security. It's not when you are in the military. If you are in the military or you are in the Air Force, you are in the Navy, and there is no political will. See what happened during the last something, during the Dasuki era. The political will is there. Okay, you take ammunition, you get them money to get ammunition, and it was distributed among themselves. We are still battling with it today.
They are still paying for it?
Yeah, no, there is but now, in my own opinion, there is political will to eradicate bandits. You must not lose the sight that in every society, the military also has their bad eggs. We have some who are given ammunition to go and combat banditry. They still sell the same ammunition, the same guns to the bandit. You get what I'm saying? So it's the most important thing is that for the government to have the political will to do the needful.
You just said there's political will to eradicate bandits. But from all, I mean, looking at what we are currently facing in Nigeria, it doesn't seem as if, the political will is there, especially the response of political leaders when it comes to insecurity. How or what do you think might be the issue here?
You see, whether there was a book written by, was it Awolowo or then, by a March to Freedom or something like that, is that whether you like, you can draw the hand of the clock backward to give the impression that the clock is going backward. Or you can put it in a stationary something to give the other eye the clock is not moving. Is that whether they like it or not, Nigeria is moving forward. You must have that sight. There are some, whether you like it or you don't like it, they don't want Nigerians to move forward in no ramification, because there is a Yoruba adage that says, if somebody is eating deep from your stupidity or something like that, you want the stupidity to continue.
All right, we have a commercial break now. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Imagine lovely meals you can cook with these ingredients. You spend heavily, but no guarantee of a tasty meal. Not making a right choice of seasoning cube can ruin your meal, money, and confidence. For a tasty meal, do not compromise. Choose Gold.
Use Terra Gold for the rich, consistent taste your loved ones crave for. Good for soups, stews, and jollof. Terra Gold. 1 cube, endless possibilities.
Guys, food is ready.
Suitable for jollof rice, stew, spaghetti, and yam portage. Cook to impress.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
What food do you need?
Ẹ̀yin tèmi, oúnjẹ ti délẹ̀ o.
Sí àsètò gbà yìí.
Thank you for staying with us. Still talking about the alleged coup attempt, matters arising. And before we went on that break, you were talking about some people not wanting the good of Nigeria. But we've also seen some governors come out to say, look, we know the people behind especially the insecurity challenges we are facing in Nigeria, but it's difficult to fish them out. We are handing it over to the federal government, but the federal government is not coming out to talk about them. Now, what do you think are being derived or is being derived, from this issue generally we are facing in Nigeria, especially the insecurity challenges that seems to be, long overdue, and it doesn't look like it's going away anytime soon?
Well, if you trace the origins of these banditries and how it's just metamorphosing to different names, and you know that it first started as more or less political group in Borno State, headed by one Yusuf, who after the political class has won the elections, he was the opinion that he also have been compensated in line with their so-called agreement. Then he fell out with the government and became an anti-government. He was unfortunately, he was arrested, and a very strong, questioning circumstances, he was eliminated. After the eliminations, the thing continued. The insurgency, the banditry, the threat to security, now, boom. Other people who are also criminal, who are doing other job before, robbery operation before, they have seen the issue of joining the banditries and joining the kidnappers as a very lucrative area. There's all of them jumped into it. But what I'm saying is this: what I'm trying to say is that if you look at the history, it started from the political angle. After some time, it metamorphosed to religious one. After some time, it goes to the criminals. So all of them now, you will not be able to decode which one is religious group, which one. And when they want to operate, sometimes we use the issue of religion to operate. As I've given the president, probably they are defending certain religions. Some all represent their criminals who just want to make money, So what I'm saying in essence is that the governors too, that will now say, I don't know which governor made that statement and said they are handing over to them to the government, I strongly believe that even if you are not governor, individuals who can pass meaningful information to the appropriate authority for them to act. But unfortunately, we are not security conscious.
Talking of us not being security conscious, what's wrong with our intelligence in Nigeria? Because you realize that most times when these strikes are probably about to happen, our military are being notched, are being given heads up. But in this situation, in recent times, we realize that we do not even see their presence until the bandits or the terrorists have, taken or carried out their acts, and we have recorded scores of people being killed.
You see, presently Nigeria is under policing. When you do the analysis of the landmarks and the populations, we are seriously under policing. The numbers is really low. And then if you have traveled in length and breadth of Nigeria, you will see some, whether in the east, in the west, it's not too pronounced. But in the east, you will see one small village with 4 buildings, 5 buildings. Before you see another one, if it is the north, you may fall from here to Oshobo, from here to Akure, before you see another small village. Yeah, before you can see the formation, police formation or military formation, it may be between here and Ife. If you are now calling somebody through distress call from that place, before they come, Sambisa forest that we are talking is more than from here to Akure. That forest is more than that. From Ibadan to Akure is more than that. So what I'm saying is that that is why we are clamoring for community policing. In every village, no matter how, you'll be able to get at least 1 or 2 people. When they have access to certain information, they will disseminate it to the appropriate authority through effective communication. Even if they attack, they will not be able to escape.
Okay, so I'd like to take you through this report. And of course, this report said rumored coup plot. Okay, I think I lost it. Okay, I'll come back to it shortly. It was saying that about 11 billion naira was found in the account of one of the, top military officers found in detained colonel's bank account. I'll take you through it. It said military intelligence traced about 11 billion naira to the bank account of a colonel detained over the alleged coup plot involving some senior military officers. Top-level security sources told journalists that the discovery connected to the detained officer to the alleged coup. According to an officer familiar with the investigation, the colonel, who served directly under the brigadier general, now also under probe, had previously been deployed to Niger Delta region. Of course, report also said that the ongoing probe is part of the wider investigation that began after intelligence report in August 2024 suggested that some serving military officers were allegedly plotting to overthrow the government. Security sources disclosed that the Defense Intelligence Agency began tracking communication, financial movement, and foreign contacts linked to the suspect months before the arrests were made. Now, I had to take us through this lens for us to see, the trajectory. Now, you found 11 billion naira in my account, and you suddenly, why is the money, also part of the lines or part of the things they see that would determine or suspect that someone might also be collecting money from some persons to ensure that a coup succeeds?
You see, one, I believe not 100% of what you have read, because it's not an official statement from those responsible in the charge of the investigations. But that notwithstanding, there may be an atom of truth there. One, if you want to plan coup, there is going to be movement. There's going to be movement of ammunition, movement of vehicles, movement of the IB. You will spend money for logistics. And if certain amount of money is found, and they trace the source, what did you sell? Which service? There is nothing. And the fund is also linked probably to coming from another military person. From that one, the difference is couple of one political leader, whether it's governor or any other person that it might be. That's why they call it investigation. It should be unraveling. I think the statement, the information that is at the disposal of the government now is more than what they have initially. And that's why you are seeing more arrests. You know, that is why people suggesting that, yes, there is likely, you know, the way things are going, it seems as if they want to plan coup. It seems. I'm not saying they want to plan coup.
I want to ask, as an intelligent expert, tell us, who would want to execute a coup in Nigeria? I mean, if there's money moving from one place to another, it means somebody is trying to pay off some people to carry out this particular act. Who could be behind this? Could it be within or external?
There is no intelligent expert to quote and unquote. It can only analyze intelligently. There is no intelligence report. See what happened during 9/11. America will say they are the chief police officers of the world. You know, see what happened in 9/11. They were just lucky that the one that were dropped at the White House couldn't make it. If not, probably that would have been the first time the American president would have been killed. And that is so. Despite what we are talking, there is also what they call intelligence failure. You may be projecting in this direction, whereas before the execution, that's why they call it, they call what they call timely dissemination of information. You can get the correct information, correct intelligence, but if it was not timely disseminated, it becomes stale. And before the government or the appropriate authority act, you know, the deal will have been done, and the report becomes stale. So what I'm saying is that a lot of things, I've said it from the beginning, that can make people want to plan coup. Simple.
Who?
Coup. I think that was.
I said who? Who is what we're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Who could be behind this coup plot?
Is it what I'm saying? That is anybody can be behind coup. Anybody. One, a cleaner even in an office. What does
the person stand to achieve?
To change the government of the day.
I mean, apart from military officers that have been arrested, there were also reports of the former governor of Bayelsa State. Also, I mean, at that point when it was reported, they said it was at large, and that Silva, you know, talking about also his involvement in the coup. But before we move on, we have a commercial break. Please stay with us.
What makes a true leader in the game? Is it being the first to start? For over a decade, one name has always led in front. That name is Bet Naija. Bet Builder, Bet Freeze, One-Up, Bet Boom. Not just features, with unbeatable odds on over 300,000 live matches, you're playing to win. Just another reason why Bet Naija is truly Nigeria's #1.
Good, tasty food is worth living for. Worried about your oil every time you enjoy your favorite meal? Introducing Smart Balance. Smart Balance rice bran oil is rich in gamma-oryzanol. Several studies suggest that gamma-oryzanol may contribute to the reduction of bad cholesterol. Golden Terra Smart Balance oil. Good food, no worries.
What wakes you up in the morning? Is it the sunrise? Is it the alarm? No. It's your dream that wakes you every day. It's what drives you like a powerful engine. That's why you start strong every day with the rich, creamy taste of Nescafe Original 3-in-1. Carefully crafted from selected coffee beans. You are on your hustle and you won't stop until you succeed. Start strong. Finish strong.
TerraCube
Unwrap joy, unleash taste.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Bonvita, prepare them to win every day.
All right, welcome back. It's still AM120. And of course, our guest, Fatai Akinsome, Esquire, retired intelligence officer, is still here with us on the program. And of course, we've been discussing alleged coup attempt matters arising. Of course, before we went on that break, Fumbi was engaging our guest.
I mean, based on what the question you asked, who are those that would want a change of government, want a takeover,
and
military
what would be
takeover.
their benefit? What do they stand
Yes,
to benefit?
and I was pointing out the former governor of Bayelsa State, has also been found wanting, even though his spokesman is coming out to say he's not involved. Who are those that would really want a coup, and why? I know earlier you mentioned the economic impact of the nation, but apart from that, what other reasons do you think people would want to take over from the current government?
How will you define it? Simple definitions. Attempt to change the order of governance. So those who are planning it, their aim is to govern. Their aim is to remove the the constitutional means of ascending to throne. That's why immediately the coup is succeeded or partially succeed. The first thing you will hear is that the constitution, the abrogations of the constitution, that the constitution has been suspended. So definitely, even with economy, without economy, what they want is that they want to take over the mantles of leadership. They want to rule the government in an illegal manner.
Okay.
That is just basically.
Okay, I want us to learn lessons.
Okay.
Because we cannot continue to talk about the problems. We have to look at the solution and take a cue from the lesson. Before we go to the solution, quickly tell us, when a military coup fails, what does the military law says about the officers who are involved? Even if they're in their millions.
Anybody that is found guilty of planning coup is death penalty.
Found wanting.
Yes.
What do you mean? Maybe you should explain.
There's level of involvement. You get what I'm saying? There's some people run just errand. Some people are the key. They may not be more than 10, they may be 20, who may really know what they want to do. So when during investigation and during trial, the level of involvement of individuals will be determined. But those who are in the core areas of planning and executing it, the military marshal says that it's death penalty. Some can be given life imprisonment, some can be given 6 months imprisonment, but definitely somebody who is a cleaner in the office may think just like running and a very normal errand for the boss. You know what I'm saying? But along the line, is found in the chain, in the movement. So it will be, he or she will be arrested too. But the level of involvement is not the same as his big boss.
Now, looking at this trajectory of judgment, facing prosecution, now looking at the military space, the way you have explained this morning shows that it's an internal thing within the Nigerian army. When this coup is coming up, does it usually have an external backing, external support, or some countries giving them the backing to go ahead to do this?
It's not absolutely the internal affairs of the military. There is no coup in Nigeria, and it's time to be corrected. There is no political input. I mean, the civilians' input.
Really?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because one, whether they want political power or not, they want patronage. And some of them, when they say they sponsored military coup, and their friends is in government, their business continue to boom. So there is so many of the coup that was called in Nigerians, some military, some people outside the militaries. And for that's why I'm not surprised when they said they declare somebody wanted and use a civilian. You know, probably I'm not saying that is the source of the funding. I will not say categorically. But, and I'm not saying that categorically there is coup, but there is elements that can cause threats.
Okay, let's look at the implications of coup now on global security and international relations, or the scale of coup. How do you think, other countries would receive these, and how do you think it would affect relationship with other countries, especially countries where we are looking to partner with in terms of development, in terms of funding? Do you think it would have any implication whatsoever, talking of the scare or the rumored coup attempt?
You see, as at now, Nigerians' policy, both foreign, economic, and some others too, are tilting towards a certain direction, which definitely some foreign countries may not be really comfortable with. And that's why I would not surprise if there is even foreign funding in this rumored coup. Let me put it in that form. Because as at now, even to be specific, let's take of the case of this United States of America themselves. As at now, Nigeria, most of the project is being funded by money from China, and the technical experts are Indians. This is where America play a very quote-unquote big brother's role. But now, they will see themselves being sidelined. And the other time, Mrs. Nkojewela came to Nigeria, and I watched the interview. He said whether anybody liked it or not, Nigerian economy has been stabilized. What remains is how to pushing the effect of the radical changes brought into the economy to stabilize it.
Okay. Let's look at the issue of the U.S. president. I'd like to quickly deviate to that a little. He's been raising concerns about Nigeria. He's talked about, he has alleged that Christians were being murdered, in broad daylight and things like that, by bandits and all of that. Now, if you look at this, there are implications, and some of it is economic sanction, international isolation, ban from IMF, World Bank. And you're saying that Nigeria's economy has stabilized. I'm taking you from there. If loans stop coming to Nigeria from any of these countries, do you think Nigeria can survive?
Nigeria will survive. Well,
really?
It's more than that, absolutely. Let me tell you, the loan, the American, most of their loan to say, just let us do that. They want to hammer some on aid. It's even better they stop all the aids and the loans.
Really?
One, you see, Trump, as a person, at times is too unnecessary that I don't know how to categorize him. His mentality at times is not stable. You know what I'm saying? At times we make certain pronouncements that we say, wow, can this be so president? Are you sure something does not wrong somewhere? You get what I'm saying? It's not good for you. At times, when it's peak, you will be doubt whether is it the product from the brain or the product from the mouth, without necessarily scrutinizing it from up. There's no doubt that Nigerian policy as of today is tilting towards China. And China and America, they are not good friends. You know what I'm saying? Most of like I said earlier, most of the experts also that they are trying to use Nigeria, most of them are also India. And Indians and America too are not in good time. So America, as a country, will be looking at it in such a form that look at this Nigeria is dancing and romancing with our enemies. You know what I'm saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend, but the friend of my enemy is my enemy. That is what America is just doing. They are just being selfish, and they don't like Nigerians to grow. They just want to create an impression that we...
But as a wind down on, in this conversation, as you are, if you continue to give me money and you see that I'm living a flamboyant life, I'm extravagant, I'm wasting resources, but you want to continue giving me money?
Have you not been wasting the money 20 years ago? Why are they not spoken?
And maybe others chose not to speak.
You see, they want us they want us to be underdeveloped perpetually.
Why did we have to wait this long to also be in one spot and not in...
It's process of leadership.
So we don't blame them for our errors.
No, they created... Let me tell you one thing. All this money that has been in there, they have been stolen. Most of them are in their bank. They encourage us to steal because they will bring... They do with their experts. If they are as good as they are thinking, why can't just without even any much litigations refund all the legal money in their...
But you know the issue of documentation too. You can't take such money
see,
without going through the proper route.
What about the bottleneck they are playing?
But why did we take our monies there in the first place?
You see, let me tell you, this has to do with mental capacity. You know what I'm saying? If you are not buoyant, you cannot even fight for the common man. You have never seen a common man liberating another common man. It's very rare. It is among the capitalists. Look at what happened in India and in Cuba, during the Castro era. He has a lot of money, the family. He used the family money to liberate the country. You see, that's what I'm saying. It is one of them that God will say, okay, let's even change our current president. You cannot say it's capitalist also. It's secretly rich. But say, okay, don't let us suffocate the poor.
We must say a big thank you to you for taking our time to be with us on the program this morning. Of course, we've been discussing alleged coup attempt, matters arising, and of course, we want to appreciate you on behalf of our producers and crew member, Fatai Akinsomi Esquire, retired intelligence officer, and of course, very knowledgeable when it comes to politics. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning, sir.
Thank you, my sisters.
Of course, we hope that we'll bring you back once again.
Yeah, thank you. No problem.
All right, we'll go on the break, and when we come back, our second guest is waiting to join us. Stay with us.
Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to stir? Dishes come alive with so much taste. Sonia tomato mix, of course. Sonia tomato mix, yes sir. Sonia tomato mix, stand up.
I'm in love. Oh, with you, of course, my darling.
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
TerraCube is available in beef, chicken, jollof, and crayfish flavors in 50 cubes Saver Pack and 100 cubes Super Saver Pack.
TerraCube. Unwrap joy. Unleash taste.
Natural sun-ripened yellow corn. Individually whole-flaked to preserve its natural goodness. That's what makes Nasco cornflakes truly whole-flaked. Enjoy the tasty, crunchy, and nutritious Nasco cornflakes.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point o.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer. Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land at Sure Banker. Progress na small wind where they carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. Mo go buy ball.
Victor, even you they use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money Point, made for your progress.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys!
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria. Attacking the parasite army directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Comel on, malaria gone.
All right, joining us again this morning, we have the former chairman, Ranao Oyo State. In the studio with us, he is Colonel Adebayo Ajayi, retired. Good morning, Colonel.
Good morning.
It's good to have you. Let's look at, from the year 2021 and 2023, we have 7 African countries under military rule now, and currently they are still ruling. 7 out of 54. And of course, we've had several attempts even before, the coup from 2021. We've had few failed attempts. Of course, we have some succeeded attempts. What do you think is the issue in Africa with coup?
Well, thank you very much. Good morning, viewers at home. In Africa countries, I believe that we are eager to develop. And the type of democracy that we are practicing, mainly in Africa, and particularly in Nigeria, is not the type that suits our own culture. And so when people see that maybe the democracy is not suiting them, is not benefiting them, that is, they are not getting the dividend in terms of development, in terms of growth, particularly economic growth, then there are going to be yearnings that probably they should change them. In Africa, we need to find a sort of suitable type of government for ourselves. We have not been able to devise that one. I hope that maybe one day we will devise it. But this foreign democracy we are practicing is not suiting most African countries.
Okay. When you say suitable, go ahead, Chadisala.
Colonel, before we come to whether our democracy is suitable or not, how many years did you spend in the Nigerian army?
I spent 29 years.
29 years. That tells me that you must have seen several coups happening.
Yes.
Share with us. We'd like to know the kind of coup and how it happened.
The first time I joined, I joined the Nigerian Military School in 1967. So, which means I experienced a little bit about even the first coup. That was in 1966. Then before we now got to the counter coup of the same year, 1966, that was in July. Then that one, the administration of General Gowon, went on till 1975, when there was another coup of General Murtala Mohammed, and then it went on until it was overthrown by another coup, which was not successful, led by Dimka, but General Obasanjo came to power after the assassination of General Murtala Mohammed. So then before we now go to civilian government, which was there till, I think, December 1983, when General Muhammad Buhari, took over power. So that one also was on till General Ibrahim Babangida overthrew him also. That was in 1985.
So, and then it was on till 1993 when the government was handed over to Shonekan briefly, but then, as far as some of us are concerned, Shonekan also was overthrown by General Abacha.
Okay.
So that's how the whole coup took
Now,
place.
I intentionally asked you to share with us. So if you ask me, you have seen not less than 8 coups, whether successful or unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say brought about the idea of, coming up with a coup in the first instance along the path of your experience as a military officer?
There are so many factors that can stimulate coup.
Particularly these ones.
This one that we have mentioned, that it varies. Some were genuinely staged, like the first one where maybe they were really interested in bringing about sanity into the political situation in the country. That is the one led by Major Zogu. Those young majors that time, they were really interested in bringing sanity to the political situation. After this Wild West issue. There are some that which means there are some that are nationalistic. There are some also that are just flimsy, just because we want to satisfy ego. We want to bring about, we want to continue to rule, like that one of Dimka. That was just say we want to rule. We just want our people to be there. We want to maintain the status quo where we have our own ethnic people who have been displaced. We want them to come back so that we can continue to enjoy all the goodies of the government. That was what led to Dimka coup, because they wanted to bring back General Gowon. Then there are some also that are just to seize power because power is sweet. That is like that. The one of General Abacha. He just wanted to. He has been trying to become the head of state, even right from the time General Ibrahim Babangida was in the power. He too was thinking that, well, maybe probably one day I too should be able to get to power and I'll be able to, because to some people are happy when they are utilizing power. Some people can be happy when they have money. Some people are happy when they have both. But General Abacha wanted to be in power. And so that's why I say that they vary. Some people like power, some people for ethnic reason, some people for nationalistic reason.
But, having experienced this number of coup or attempted coup in some cases, and military era, democratic era, which of these eras and what particular reason what exactly do you think we are lacking in Nigeria? Or do you think, these people that are overthrowing at those particular times need to see that they have not seen or they did not see, at those particular times for them to have come up with coup?
Any person who comes up with a coup, like I said, depending upon what is said, to them, they believe that they just want to achieve their own aim. But their aim will not coincide with the aim of the country. So, but because you find out that this group of people, they are not many. They are just a small group of people who want to galvanize other people, to come and join them, because every person wants to taste power. Particularly, like some people will say that it's because some people are not in power or they are not in the position to steal money. That is why they are complaining that, there's corruption. Let them put them there also there and see what they are going to do. So those who are nothing or who have lost their ambition of saying that maybe they want to topple government, they are the people that maybe should be able to contain themselves, to be able to know this thing that we are doing, is it going to be to the benefit of the generality of the people? Because one thing that we should understand, that there are always opposition parties that are mulling around. Each time we finish an election, there are some, and so those, and the type of character we have in Nigeria, in let me say, even in Africa in general, once you cannot get to power, you hardly see somebody that has lost an election, going to congratulate his opponent, who has won, because to him is that if that day he has somebody who can help him to go and destabilize or to even destroy the entire house, he doesn't mind. That is the type of attitude that maybe it's inherent in us as a black people or black race, which is very, very detrimental to our development.
Okay. I'd like to ask you, if you look at the issue of attempted coup, it's usually a selfish, or most times, let me put it that way, selfish attempt, self-centeredness. But unfortunately, it's also illegal. Why would people from the military, who we feel understands what it means for a country to be at peace, who have taken oath to safeguard the nation, now are the ones that are planning coup?
Let me reiterate that when you are talking about military staging a coup, I want to emphasize that there is no election, there is no census, carried out in the barrack to say that how many people want this to support a coup. So it's just like somebody who has come with a weapon to your house, where maybe you are even maybe you are about 10 in the house. You're a family of 10, your brother, your sister, family, children, and all those things. And somebody comes in the middle of the night with a cutlass. All of you will surrender to that man with cutlass. So it is not that maybe we are debating coup in the barrack. Some people just have the opportunity to be in a position where they can go and seize the armory. And then once they seize the armory and they point gun, who are you to now say that you are just going about your normal work? Probably you are in the office, whether you are in the training in the area, talking about, discussing on tactical situation, and somebody come there with a gun and round you up. There's nothing you can do than to say what's happening. We have seen an officer who didn't even know anything about coup, that were deployed, in some areas that, okay, and they went there thinking that maybe it's normal deployment, not knowing that it's coup. And by the time investigation will ensue, such people also, they fall into the category of people that are probably sentenced to death, because of that mistake. So it is a sort of a group of small people. It's always a group of small people. We don't debate it. Some group of people will just come. They know they have been planning. They know most. If it's said that maybe they throw it into the open for people to debate, probably you find out that they are not even popular in the barrack. But because this one comes from a group of people who have their own agenda, who have been discussing, oh, we don't want this person to be there. Oh, we don't want this, we are tired, It's not thrown open to the rest of the soldiers. But when they come, because of the overbearing possession of weapon, everybody will surrender to them.
Okay, having examined the reasons why, a coup could have been plotted or alleged coup could have taken place, for this current dispensation now, why do you think, individuals or military men or, coming together with other civilians to say they want to plot a coup, what do you think is wrong with this administration, or why do you think anyone would want to overthrow this current administration?
Just like I've said earlier, I think it's the people that are planning, but although the government said that there's no coup, but we, the people, particularly my people in the social media, said there was coup. So it's now the two of them to come and counter each other. But generally, I will just say that any person, those who want to plan coup at this time, if you find out, if at the end of the day, you now start to investigate, you find out that they are in the opposition. That's all. They are in the opposition to the ruling party, and they find out, and they are looking at the situation. If we are going, let us just be objective. The way the political situation is in the country now. If you look at the trajectory, today I'm told that there's another PDP governor that wants to defect. If there's a politician who is in the opposite camp and is watching all this, the campaign daily, he will be disillusioned because he will find out that, is there any hope for election in 2027? That is the first thing he will be asking. Because if somebody really wants to study to analyze properly, that if I were a politician, that would say, okay, why are people going to one side? Where are we going to get people to support us? If there's no other way, what other way can we use? So probably that is why you find them to say, if we cannot get our own, they say, we better let the house fall on everybody.
Okay. Of course, before we continue, we're going to go on the break. When we go on this commercial break and we return, we'll look at other issues around this coup, looking at the October 1st celebration that was supposed to happen, and it didn't happen, and a lot more. Stay with us. Don't go away.
Supramalt Multivitamin Junior. Supramalt Multivitamin Junior. Being mommy simplified.
Good, tasty food is worth living for. Worried about your oil every time you enjoy your favorite meal? Introducing Smart Balance. Smart Balance rice bran oil is rich in gamma oryzanol. Several studies suggest that gamma oryzanol may contribute to the reduction of bad cholesterol. Golden Terra Smart Balance oil. Good food, no worries.
Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop and is it to stir? Dishes come alive with so much taste. Sonia tomato mix, of course. Sonia tomato mix, yes sir. Sonia tomato mix, stand up.
I'm in love. No, but with you, of course, my darling.
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
All right, welcome back. We still have Colonel Adebayo Ajayi, retired, here with us in the studio. And of course, trust me, he has seen different types of coup in Nigeria. So let's go to the African continent. Why is it a continent that continues to see different coups taking place? Why?
Yes, because like I said before, Africa is in a state of dynamics. We are changing. We are looking at situation. We want to develop very fast. We are looking that we travel outside. We watch television, and then we see what is happening in other climes. And then we want to see, that why are we not as developers? Even like people will say that Rome didn't start in.
Was not built in a day.
It was not built in one day. But African countries, we want Africa to develop within a short time.
But is it going to develop with coup?
Well, that is why, because when they try someone, okay, now you plant a maize, you have to allow the maize to germinate. You have to see how it for about 3 months before. But some people want the maize to germinate immediately in 1 week. And if they cannot see it germinating, they say, "Oh, we can't wait till we are hungry," and all those type of things. So until the politician, like we always say, politicians must be able to discipline themselves to be able to know that, yes, if this is the way, they have fashioned the constitution, that they are going to use the Western mode of democracy, then they just have to continue to be patient. So if you don't win, you start working again towards the other one, otherwise.
Now, who do you blame for coup whenever it happens? Who do we blame?
I blame the politician.
Why is it always the politician?
Because they are already the one that are not, they are dissatisfied. most of the time they are the one that will go to the military, their friends, and say, oh, this thing is not working that way. This place is, they instigate. Some of the time they are even the one that sponsor. And we have seen a lot of that in the past, During the Oka coup of those things, it was sponsored by the businessmen. During some other, it was sponsored by, civilians, So, and they are the one that will go and use sweet words and castigate their fellow politicians, to say, oh, this government is not doing well. We should change them. We should do that.
Now, let me...
Even now that we are talking about this president, I'm not saying there's a coup now, but you can see what is happening, what we are reading in the social media. A lot of in the barrack, you see that the commander is even cautioning the soldiers to exercise restraint on what they see on social media, because they know that they can pollute the mind of the soldiers. So they caution them, don't always accept what we have seen on the but the people in the social media every day is like, so everything should fall, the government is not doing anything. Cause some people, to come and debate on the television, instead of them to present something, tangible, to argue their case out, they only just say, no, they have not seen anything. Those type of things, will continue. That is to say their dissatisfaction. And then they want people to join them. And then they will be recommending, I don't know, last week somebody was even sending a post that says things were happening in Tanzania, are happening in protests in Cameroon. That what is Nigeria waiting for? All those type of things. Those are not the things that maybe should be coming out from them. Because when the problem comes, it's like people throw stone in the market. You don't even know who is going to hit.
Instigative post. But this also brings me to the question I asked you earlier, about why Africa? Why is it more like a targeted event in Africa? Just as you've mentioned, we've seen, in fact, the news from Tanzania for the past few days has been really devastating, killing almost 1,000 people in a protest because they are protesting or fighting against a dictator that is being called a leader. But when we see all these happening in all these African countries, talking of the coup, the protest and everything, is it like a targeted event on Africa? Is it more like a sponsored act? Is that what it is, or does it look more like it?
See, when you look at like in Africa, so like the youth, they will say, no, the people are ruling, they are too old, they want new people to come out, young people to come out. We have tried the young people in Africa, and it didn't satisfy the people. What we are talking about is Tanzania. It's a woman. Yeah. A woman is the president. It's not satisfying them. So that is the thing. That what is the problem? And that is why we are always saying. I know General Babangida also one time when he was preparing to hand over, he particularly mentioned that Africa should look at themselves and see what is the best method of government that can suit us, that we can be satisfied. Probably, I've been looking at, just like I've seen also, in African continent is a problem in that we don't all agree. If there's a place, we have tried the release option here for where people line up, behind the party they want to do, so that you can't physically, so that there will be nothing like maybe you are using beaver, you are using any other thing, just line up and not do. So you can see the husband lining on the left, the wife is landing on the right. Yet it didn't satisfy us also. So we are looking at because by the time you finish, you count this road. You say 20 people are on that road behind the UPP. You go to the other road, 4 people are on the road. The people will say no. They will scatter the whole ballot. They will still not agree. What is our problem? So that's why sometimes we look at it. Can we look for a way like we do? Let us study ourselves in Africa. Let us see the way we were governing ourselves or administering ourselves before the white people came in, before they brought in this democracy, because the democracy we are practicing is not the right thing for the entire. Let us see. Is there a fashion we can do? Check. Let us look at China. China, right from the beginning, they already know the people that they want to select as their leaders. Even right from secondary school, they know those people. So when you go to where they are holding their senate or whatever it is, you find a lot of people who are there. You have professor there, you have carpenter there, you have a bricklayer there, you have people that they have tested in leadership position at the grassroots. You know, those are people they bring forward to come and talk about things that involve the Chinese government, you know, and how to do so. Okay. So I'm looking at that one, that maybe that's what we should, let us look inside this BCOS now. Before, if you say that maybe we are looking for amongst you who can add this thing to your satisfaction, who can bring the administration, I'm sure many of you will say, oh, we want to select Mr. So and so. Before you know, everyone, that one is good. That one is good. So by the time you now start using that type of method to select those who are heading up, probably it will work. If you go to a town or an environment in local government, I remember the one time, you know, when one of my brother in my own local government, everybody was canvassing for him that if this man could be our chairman local government, everybody, brother, please. The man was reluctant, but they said no, they wanted him. But by the time he got to the party men, they said no, we can't use this man. This man is good, though, but he will not allow us to chop.
Okay, let's quickly go on this break. When we come back, I want us to look, because you've been talking about politicians. I want us to look at the role that politicians and businessmen are playing. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Super Malt Multivitamin Junior.
Welcome back. Still AM120. Of course, before we went on the break, I was trying to talk about, you know, the politicians and elections in Nigeria. Now, if someone is there, you know, or trying to contest election, you know, expressing his interest, some businessmen would say they're raising funds, they're supporting him, and all of that. And when such person gets into power, some of them want contracts, they want to be recognized.